Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel, Olivia here at Olivia's Romantic Home, and in today's video I cannot wait to share with you 6 DIY Dollar Tree French farmhouse crafts. So without further ado, you guys plug in those glue guns, get out your glitter and paint, and let's get to crafting. Okay you guys, so for this DIY, I'm going to take this large oversized grapevine wreath, and my idea is to break it apart and make it into a garland. I also have 3 of these Dollar Tree greenery pieces and some Dollar Tree lemons. So you guys can get these bases at Walmart. This I found for free. It was at my mom's house. I think I'm getting ready to make a huge mess.
So what I want to do is use my wire cutters and take this wreath apart. I'm just clipping off the piece of garland that's holding it together. So you just basically have to take that one large piece and wrap it in and around and take that part off. And then once you get that part off, you can take the garland or take the wreath and just gently pull the pieces apart. This did take a little bit of maneuvering. I've also been told that if you soak it in water overnight, that makes it much easier. Now I'm just wiping off the surface above this cabinet because I do know that this garland is going to make a bit of a mess. So here's the inspiration for my garland. It was this beautiful lemon garland that I saw that I wanted to recreate. So I'm taking my long piece of garland and it kind of winds in and around this top part of my cabinet, and I just kind of gently pushed it on either side. And then now I'm taking those Dollar Tree garland pieces. These were 3 of the Dollar Tree greenery pieces, and I just kind of wrapped it in and around the garland. If you wanted to make it secure, you could always use wire to attach it. Also, the Dollar Tree lemons are perfect for this project. You can just pull the end out, and there's a little bit of styrofoam on that end, and you just take a piece of wood from your garland, and I just poked mine on. Again, if you wanted it to be more secure, you would probably want to add some hot glue, but this garland isn't going anywhere, and it's not a super huge high traffic area. It'll just be for decor purposes up here, so I think it'll be just fine. I continue to add several more lemons, and then I also had some Dollar Tree white florals that I wanted to add in and around the garland as well. I'm really excited for how this garland turned out. I think it brings a fresh pop of color to my kitchen. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to create some wall art using a foam board from Dollar Tree. So I had a thrift store frame on hand that I had painted white, so I'm just cutting out this piece of foam board to fit inside of my frame, and I'm using a sharp craft knife. And I will tell you guys, if you use a level to cut against while you're cutting your foam board, it helps it the foam board not ruffle. And now I'm taking one of those Dollar Tree plaid tablecloths, and I'm just tracing out the piece of foam board to fit the size. Once I have the tablecloth traced out, I'm just going to cut out the piece of tablecloth, and what I want to do with this tablecloth is hot glue it on top of the foam board, and that way I have a backdrop for my little sign. I did notice that Joanna Gaines was on the Anthropologie website, and she had done some really neat plaid wall decor, so this was my inspiration for this one. Now I'm just hot gluing the tablecloth on top of the foam board, but I do suggest going end to end instead of all the way around because that did make it a little bit tricky. Now I'm just measuring to see the right size to put my placemat in. So this is a Dollar Tree placemat. It says Live, Love, Eat. I thought that would be perfect for my kitchen. It has a tiny hint of yellow and that cute little Frenchy farmhouse gray. So I'm just hot gluing a tiny dab on end to end, and then it's in there, and I was so over the moon thrilled for this piece of wall art. Basically it cost us about $3, and then of course the cost of a frame, but I'm really a thrift store hound when it comes to frames. I'm so excited for how this project is turning out. So for the next Dollar Tree DIY, I wanted to create this bakery sign that I saw at Michael's craft store. So it was one of those kind of old enamel reproduction tin signs. So I'm just taking the other part of our foam board. Always recycle and reuse as much as you can, and I love to do that. You guys know I love to. So I'm just taking some black apple barrel craft paint, and I'm taking one of those Dollar Tree paint brushes, and I'm just going along the edges with the paintbrush. Now this paintbrush was even kind of in bad shape, so it even kind of left some rough edges, but if you guys have ever seen any of those old enamel signs, they're kind of a little bit rough, so I was okay with it looking kind of rough and a little bit aged. So I just went all the way around the edge of the foam board, and then also I kind of curved in on either end. And then I'm taking some of those Dollar Tree letters that we found. These are next to the poster board section. They're already done. I'm so in love with these. They went straight on to my little sign here, and I did have to take them back up because I got the letters a little bit uneven, but they weren't that hard even to take back up. I just used a pair of tweezers to gently take them up so I didn't tear the letters. So I wanted to spell out bakery. I thought that would be really sweet for my kitchen, and it just fits so perfectly up here. And you guys too, if you wanted to, you could even go in and paint more of the trim like around the back and the sides. I wasn't super worried about that. I didn't think you could notice it that much, but I think this turned out perfect and so cute for kitchen decor. Now, the next thing I saw on the Anthropologie website also were these cute baskets. They're kind of a two-toned ombre style basket. So I just wanted to take this Dollar Tree wire basket and I removed the handle, and then I'm taking some of that Dollar Tree nautical rope, and what I'm doing is I'm just hot gluing the nautical rope to the base and then winding it along the wire basket and then hot gluing it as I go. So you're just going to continue to hot glue the nautical rope in and around the wire basket. Now I will tell you, if you're using the wire basket, the hot glue is going to poke through. I was using this basket for display on top of my shelf, and so I knew I wasn't going to be seen down inside of it, but if I do decide to bring it down, I'll probably line it with maybe some of that cute little tablecloth. So that's just a note to you guys for this project. If you didn't want it to poke through, you may want to choose a different style of basket. So once I got to the top, I ran out of nautical rope actually, but I did have this Dollar Tree burlap wired ribbon on hand, so I'm just taking it and I'm hot gluing it in around the top to give the basket more of a finished edge. I really wanted it to be finished all the way around the top, so it would be nice and smooth. So you're just going to continue to hot glue that. I even hot glued it over where the little handle parts were. You could also wrap your handles and put them back on if you wanted to have handles on your basket. So now I'm just trimming this off, and then I'm going to hot glue that one little last piece, and this part of the basket will be finished. So then once I had this finished, I just got out some white paint, and what I wanted to do was go ahead and start painting the base of the basket. I also did go back in with some hot glue and make sure that those little edges were tucked under, and so now I'm just adding some white paint to the base of the basket, and it took about 2 coats. I didn't tape off the basket. I was okay with following the lines of the rope, so I just kind of worked in and around the sides, and then I ended up putting a paper towel down and to make sure that I just didn't get paint completely everywhere. But I continued to work the paint, and again, it wasn't really that hard to paint on the nautical rope. I've actually never done this kind of project before, but I thought it turned out really cute, and it was only a couple of dollars. I think on the Anthropologie website these baskets were like $30 to $40. And we did it for so much cheaper. I'm loving that. You guys know how I love to save a buck. Also, I did let this basket sit outside in the sunshine and dry for a couple of hours before I added it to my cute little display, but it did fit perfectly up top. It just kind of nestled right down in that little darling piece of lemon garland, and I thought it turned out really great, you guys. I was so excited with this. I think it looks so fashionable and perfect for this space. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to create an inspirational faux wood cutting board sign. So I'm taking 2 of the Dollar Tree dry erase boards. You will find these in the teacher section. And then I'm cutting off the end of one of the boards because I only want the top part to have the handle. I want to create this kind of wood faux cutting board. The next thing I'm doing is just taking a piece of sandpaper and just gently sanding off the raw edge on the end of my faux wooden cutting board. And now I'm taking a popsicle stick and just take a couple of these, whatever size is just fine, and I'm just hot gluing them to the back of my cutting board to stabilize this piece. So I glued 3 running up and down and then 1 on the back for some support. And then once I have that done, I cut some contact paper. This is the Dollar Tree wooden contact paper, and I am fitting it to size the piece of my cutting board. This was a fairly easy part. Now there was a little tiny line where the seams of the cutting boards met, but you really couldn't see it that much, and I'm also going to be adding one of those decals to the front. So I chose this "Love is patient, love is kind." I really love this saying. I showed this to you all in my haul from last Friday, and it was not too hard to work with either. You can see that I got it into a spot where I wasn't for sure that I really wanted it, so I'm just kind of maneuvering it around and laying it back down again. And so I felt like that it was very easy to maneuver, and it also kind of covered up a little bit of the bubbles that was in the contact paper. I try not to be too much of a perfectionist with my crafts, because it might just steal the joy out of my crafting. But anyway, so now I'm adding the other part of this sign, and this would also be really beautiful on just a piece of clear window framed, or just a clear frame. But I knew what I wanted for this space, and so I went for it with this faux cutting board, and I feel like it turned out pretty cute. So now I'm just adding a little piece of nautical rope to the top, and of course I couldn't resist adding one of those Dollar Tree wired bows. I just tied it like a shoelace bow. Now this was a trash to treasure project where I painted a mirror with this frame. It has kind of chalkboard paint in the background, and I just added it to the little top part of this, and I thought it was so sweet. So this is that space next to my coffee maker. This is where I need this reminder every day. Love is patient, love is kind, it does not boast, it does not envy, and love never fails. And so I just love that saying. These are in the Dollar Tree wall art area if you guys need that saying or want to look for it there. But I felt like it fit perfectly in. I wanted to add just a little touch of wood to my kitchen because, as you guys can see, there's a lot of whites in here, so I just felt like that was the perfect touch. For the next Dollar Tree DIY, we're going to create a Polka Dot Olivia Bow. So to create Olivia Bow, you're going to take your wired ribbon and you're just going to wrap it over on itself. So you can see I'm just continuing to loop the ribbon over on itself, and I do that until I get 3 loops. So you can just kind of look there and see. So just take your ribbon, wrap it over on itself, and then find the center and kind of fold it so you know where your center is, and then take your scissors and just cut 2 tiny notches on either side of your ribbon. Once you have your notches cut, and be careful, do not cut them any larger than just tiny, tiny notches. You can take a piece of wire or string or whatever suits your fancy and tie a little spot in the center of your bow. So you just want to tie that bow in the center, and then take your loops and pull them out and give them a bit of a fluffing. And then I always dovetail my ends, so you just take the ribbon in half and then cut a little notch on the end, and that gives it that really beautiful boutique finish. I wanted to give this little bit of bow to the edge of my display over here. I thought it would add some whimsy and some fun. You guys know how much I love bows, and it was all I could do not to get crazy with a floral up here, but I feel like this is really great for the kitchen. It's very simple and elegant and fun and springtime chic, Frenchy farmhouse. We're ready to go to the bakery. We're ready to do some eating and all that fun stuff. So now I'm just taking 2 of those little Target dollar spot bunnies. These were $3 each, and they were in the terracotta, and I'm taking some white paint and I'm just brushing them with 1 coat of white paint, and I kind of wanted to give them the appearance of being a concrete bunny. So I took a little bit of that apple barrel craft paint that I had left over from the beginning of these projects, and I'm just brushing some of the black craft paint on while that wet paint was still wet, and then I added a little bit of white paint back in, and here they are. They're so sweet and so cute, and this was just such a simple thing to do. I knew I'd be happy with them if they blended into this decor just a little bit more, but they're so perfect, ready for Easter, and I think this is just so precious. I added my little Dollar Tree Grace cross to the corner over here by our fruit with that little Dollar Tree tea candle. And then I found this really cute sign at the Dollar Tree, this gratitude is the best attitude. I love that sign. I think it would be a lot more in a more high-end store, but here it is. I feel like this is such a sweet spot. I was so excited for this, and I hope you guys are loving this too. Comment and let me know which is your favorite project with these DIYs and which ones you all might be recreating. I would love to hear your input and what you all are thinking on these.
Okay, you guys, so here is my outfit of the day. I just have on this little lace top over a tank top and some fitted jeans. They're kind of like jeggings, I guess. I found this sweater at a garage sale. I was really excited. I also knotted the ends on it. And then, of course, my little comfy Crocs. So thank you all so much for joining me on this DIY crafting adventure. It is such a blessing and a true honor to have you all here. I am so amazed by how many of you guys want to hop on here, have coffee, get out those glue guns and craft. And I encourage you all, it is such a wonderful thing for your spirit, for your mind, to be busy, to create some beautiful home decor and just create a space that is unique, that is your own, that is your retreat to come home to. It's your safe place and it's your happy place. So thank you for being here. Your kind comments truly, truly, truly mean the world to me. If you guys are new, I would love to have you subscribe and be part of my YouTube family, and we will talk to you in the next video. Bye-bye.